Hey, what's up? So it's finally the next part, my freaking how to rebuild and port a rotary engine. So on this one I'm going to be actually building the engine and stuff. So in the last video I got the rotors all ready to go, and freaking they have all the seals and stuff. So today it's just pretty much building the engine. So I got my assembly pail right there, freaking the rotor sitting there. I just went over all the irons right now with some acetone there. Freaking wipe down all the faces and around the coolant grooves, and then just like the flanges on the stationary gears there. So I'm just about to like wipe the faces of the rotor housings back in there, and pretty much then I can just get started making a freaking rotary sandwich right there. So freaking hold on. Alright, so I got everything from my rebuild kit all just set out here. The other stuff's already on the rotors and everything. So pretty much you get like the intercoolant seals. Like these are the Rotary aviation ones. They're like a Teflon encapsulated or something. So they're a little bit different than like the stock OEM ones, but they still work good. So and then these are the outer coolant rings. So they're like just a thinner rubber. Then this is the rear like O-ring for the stationary gear, and then here's the front and rear oil seals, and then like these are the little washers and O-rings. Those are like the RA version. They're just to seal off the freaking tension bolts there. Like usually they have it's all a one-piece design, but these ones are made so like if you have to take them out, like they're reusable a couple times, and if you need to, you can just go to the hardware store and replace the O-rings. So, and then these are the O-rings for the dowel pins, and then there's a little one in there for the crank pulley bolt there. So, and then I got these are their 2mm racing springs for the apex seals. So pretty much got all that set out. It's just some gray sensor safe freaking RTV silicone, and then some Hylamar to hold the seals in place. So I got my pail all set up there. I'm gonna get the rear stationary gear with that O-ring on there, and put in the new rear seal. So I'll do that stuff first, so I'm not messing around when I'm trying to finish off the engine. Then stick the front stationary gear in the front iron, and I can start building. Alright, so I got the rear stationary gear right here. You can see down in the little groove there's that little O-ring, so I'm gonna get that out with like a little screwdriver there, and then you gotta like lube that one up with some Vaseline there and toss it on, and then that's pretty much almost ready to go. Like before I stick it in the rear iron, you have to go around this flange and just put some like a really thin coat of the RTV silicone stuff there. So we can get that all done, and then toss it in the rear iron, toss the other one in the front there, and should be able to go start building. Alright, so I just popped out the rear main seal. So it's just this big orange one there. It sits in there like that. But I just got like my pry bar and just put it on like this with just underneath the lip right here. So there's a metal ring in the middle. But and then just put my foot on the side and then just gave her a little friggin' wedge there, and it popped right out. So I got the new seal here. The service manual says just put like a really thin layer of oil just all the way around there, and then just slide it in there. So just about to do that, and then work on the front seal. Yeah, so I just put a little bit of oil around there and just some light pressure, like light even pressure all the way around, and slid right down in there. Like you don't have to push too hard because there's that little metal lip like I was saying, so you can deform that. So just push her down so it's nice and level with the little metal flange there. So it's pretty good. So now I can just work on the front seal. Alright, this one's kind of a tight fit, like, so I pretty much just got her halfway around and then kind of just rolled her down, but then just go around and make sure there's like no like little wrinkles or waves, and it's all seated down, and then this one's pretty much ready to go. So just a bit of silicone now, and I can toss it in the rear iron. Alright, so I got the little layer of silicone around there, got the rear iron here. So pretty much you just gotta look at that little dowel and the notch in the rear stationary gear. So it just pops in there. Probably use like a little rubber mallet, give her a couple little taps, and then put the bolts in there nice and snug. Alright, so after a little bit of coaxing with my rubber mallet there, freaking got the rear stationary gear in. So now it's time to move on to the front one, and then freaking toss her in my assembly pail. Alright, so I got my front iron here, so see right there, but that's where the freaking front stationary gear goes. I got it right here, it's the smaller one. So this one you don't need any like silicone around the edge, but you should just put a little bit of oil around here when you slide it in, like the other one too, but I forgot to say that before. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick this in, and then you only need one bolt to hold this one in because you'll end up having to take them out after anyways. So just put the one in, and then I can mount it on my assembly bucket there. So I got that in. It takes like a couple tries, like you have to get that pin lined up perfectly. So I just have to tighten down this bolt here, and then I can set it on the thing there and get going. Alright, so just when you stick this on there, you just leave these three out, but there's one on the back that kind of like catches on there. And then just like get it all evened out on the pail so it's all set up nice and sturdy, because you don't want that to tip over once you get going. So pretty much everything's ready to go. So now I'm just going to take this Hylamar here, and I have to go all the way around the coolant seal grooves there, and just so like when you put those seals in, they stay in place. So this is just like some really sticky stuff there, so pretty much go around those and then get the coolant seals in, then it's ready for the rotor housing. Alright, so I went around the first part with the Hylamar there, so you can see it's like not too thick, just like, because that's all you have for the whole engine, so you gotta use it pretty sparingly. So I'm just about to put in the intercoolant seal, so there's like a little paint mark I'll show you here. Alright, so I got the first one set in here. This is that paint mark I was talking about. So hold on a minute, it's right there at the tip, you can't really see it too much, but that's basically the seam. So you want the seam anywhere between like right here and the top right up here, so it's like on the cooling part of the intake there, so that's like the coolest part. But you have to be careful because I had it set up here, and when I ended up getting the seal all laid down, it popped out a couple times there, but I got it all in, and then it ended up finishing off like right down here, so it's just something you have to keep an eye out. So now I'm going to be doing the outer coolant ring, so I got to go around this one here, and I'll show you that thing when I get to it. Alright, I just went around the outer coolant seal with the Hylamar there. So these things, there's like a narrow end and a wide end, so they got to go like the wide end standing up. On the RA seals, you can see there's that parting line, so that goes on the outside. Like you pretty much have to like bend them like pretty awkwardly to get them to like go the opposite way of what they should. So just make sure like the tall end's facing up, and like so not like the fat end, so it's like sitting down so it's fatter. It should be taller than it is wider pretty much. Alright, so I'm just about to set that one in. So these ones you should kind of work them around with like your fingers just really lightly. So I'll like kind of rig the camera up here for a minute. So yeah, like just go around them like this, really gently, like kind of stretch them out a bit. Yeah, just going like this. So I'm just gonna work on that, and I'll get back to you guys. Alright, so I got that all in. So just make sure the parting line's not facing up, it's facing the side, and it's just sitting flat in the groove there. So pretty much now I'm ready to start working on the rotor housing. Alright, so I got my front rotor housing here, so there's the engine sitting right there. So anyways, pretty much just go around and make sure you have it all clean, and I'm going to put some silicone right here and right there on the legs. Like on the 3rd gen they have these nice grooves cast into there. So, and the one thing you don't want to forget is you have to put that O-ring for the dowel pin right there, so don't forget that. And then what I do is I go around and put like a little like really skim coat of silicone around here just to help with the pitting, and seals it up nice. Like some people might think that's like bad, but like the one guy I know like does it all the time, and I did it on my red car, so freaking works good anyways. So I'm just about to do that, and I'll show you it right before I toss it on the front house or the front iron. Alright, so I went around and just like put the silicone around the edge and then on those legs right there, and put the O-ring, so it's pretty much all ready to slide over on the front iron. So I'll get that on and show you guys. Yeah, just check one more time that all your seals are still sitting in the groove and they didn't pop out or anything, so should be good to go to slide it right down. Yeah, so I got it set down now, so I'm just about to put the rotor in there. Yeah, so I got some assembly lube. I'm just going to put it on the front stationary gear, and then down in that freaking bearing there, and then I'll put some on the rotor and everything after it's on. And I'm gonna put a little bit on the face too. Alright, so I got that shit all lubed up there, so you can see right here, like this is the way I put it in. There's a little dot down in there with that indent, but you want the one apex facing that, so you can get everything on without a problem afterwards. So just make sure you grab your front rotor, I guess, freaking gear side down. So I got the front rotor in, so it's freaking pointed right to that spot pretty much there. You can see down in there a bit, I think. Yeah, freaking anyway, so now I gotta take out these corner seals here and put in those apex seal springs. So I got those like 2mm racing springs right there I'm gonna put in. So alright, I got the one corner seal out, so I start with a small apex seal spring. So the opening goes towards the apex seal itself, so this is upside down right here. Goes like this in there, curve out. So I'm just about to slide that one in, and then I'll start with the other one. Yeah, so I pushed that little one just to the edge of the hole, so I'm about to put in the other one. It goes below that one, so like now I can like just push it against that little one, and it'll like bring that one and the other one into place there. Alright, so I got those pushed down. The top's locked in the one lip on the apex seal, so you can put the corner seal in, and I just have to do it to the other two there. Alright, so I got the second one out, so I'm just about to put in those apex seal springs. So when you put them in, just make sure you hear them click into place too. That's one of the key things there. Alright, yeah, so that one's in there too, so just make sure the apex seal is sitting down that one little corner piece. Because I ended up taking them out just to be able to get that little spring in there, so kind of glad they didn't get glued together. So one more, and then I can seal this rotor housing off. Alright, so I put in all the seals and the freaking springs and all that, so it's all ready to go now. So pretty much I just got to put that other O-ring for the dowel pin right there and go around there with some silicone and drop the eccentric shaft in, and then work on the intermediate iron. Alright, so I got the intermediate iron right here, so I'm about to put the freaking Hylamar shit in there in the grooves. Freaking put those coolant seals on, then go around here with that silicone again and freaking O-ring for the dowel pin there, so get that shit freaking going. Alright, so I just gooped it on pretty good on these ones, because this one has to go upside down and it's gets all wobbled around, so you want to make sure these ones stay in, because it's pretty much the most important ones to keep in there. Alright, so I got those seals in there. It's freaking caked in pretty good with the Hylamar, so they should stay in place. So I'm going to set the eccentric shaft in there right now. Alright, so I lowered that in place. So you want the rear lobe facing the intake and exhaust ports there, so when you put the other one on, you can get it all lined up evenly and stuff. So anyways, now I'm just going to go around there with some silicone. I already have the O-ring in there with some Hylamar, so once I do that, I can fish this over that freaking eccentric shaft. Alright, so I got the silicone all the way around, so I got a helper right here. He's gonna freaking lift this up. You gotta lift it up about 1 inch, but you can't go over like 1.4 inches or so, and then gotta just snake that over the freaking eccentric shaft and set it down, so hopefully it all goes well. Alright, so we got that lowered down. Freaking should be good. All the coolant seals stayed in place. So now pretty much just start doing the same thing to this iron here. Go around with the coolant seals, get the freaking silicone and freaking the dowel pin freaking O-ring on there, and slide that down, put the rear rotor on. Yeah, so just make sure you get that thing in the, every time you have to go on in the side where the freaking intake port is, so just pretty much from 3 o'clock till 12 o'clock in between there. Freaking right, so I got the silicone on those right there, freaking coolant seals in, dowel pins there. Yeah, so I got the last freaking housing down, the rear housing, so it's freaking alright. These guys are going to get a cheeseburger picnic, so see you guys later. Thanks for the help.
No problem, see you in a bit.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm just about to put in the freaking last rotor here, then I'll get those seals in there. Yeah, so I got the last freaking housing down, the rear housing, so it's freaking alright. These guys are going to get a cheeseburger picnic, so see you guys later. Thanks for the help.
No problem, see you in a bit.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm just about to put in the freaking last rotor here, Then I'll get those seals in there. Alright, so right now I got the freaking little dowel pin O-ring in there, so I'm just about to set the last rotor in there. So this one, it's on the back, so it's going to go with the gear facing up, so the rear stationary gear will mesh with it and all that. So pretty much it'll only go on one way, so freaking just set her in and should be good to go. There we go, so the last rotor's set in place there. Now I just gotta pull out these corner seals and pop in the apex seal springs, and then can freaking seal this son of a bitch up. Alright, so I set the camera up so hopefully you guys can get a couple of little views of me doing this. So start off with this one. I use little picks and the little screwdriver just to pop them out. So it's kind of crappy. I put a lot of Vaseline on them, so you want to lift them out without them flying off inside your engine. So it can be a bit tricky. So I wasn't videotaping it before because I'd have like a 3-hour long video. So, but these ones, that little piece of the apex seal has been coming out, but it kind of works out better because I've been using them with it out. Freaking pop the seals or the springs in, so I had it coming out. These and get the seal. So just set that aside. So like I was saying before, you start off with the small piece. I'll try not to get my head in there. You hold that for me. Yeah, so freaking just kind of get this below there. Freaking push her down to the edge of the thing there. Edge of the freaking rotor. Then the other one, gotta get it in here. Just kind of set it on the back of it, so you can push the two down together. Should hear them pop into place. There's a little click for the small one. And you can hear this one bottom out on there. And now you go back with that little piece of the apex seal. Kind of just hook it underneath there. Under that top spring there. And then kind of push her down. Once they're seated properly, you'll know because they should move. You can push them down probably about like 1/8 of an inch or so, and it'll move. It'll have about like 1/8 of an inch free play at the edge there where you can push it down. So then it's just going back and putting the corner seal back in there. Get her to sit down. And then just double check one more time that that corner piece is still sitting in there, because you don't want that popping out for sure. So there, hopefully you guys seen me put that spring in and not just the back of my head and me talking. So just got to go around and do these other two, and then this thing's ready to go. Yeah, so all the apex seals are in on the last rotor. I got the silicone all around there and freaking coolant seals in, so it's about ready to drop this down and freaking seal her all up. Yeah, so I got that all freaking done. I'm just about to put in the tension bolts there, so I'll go over that freaking with the tightening sequence there, but you can see it looks pretty good. Freaking right, so all the seals stayed in place.
Hidden beast.
Yeah, so I got the washers and freaking O-rings for the tension bolts. So like there's a little lip on the freaking seals there, you can see. So that goes facing down like on the towards the rubber O-ring. So this is the last O-ring that was left with those ones for the freaking dowel pin O-rings, but this is for the crank freaking bolt at the front. So I'll get out my tension bolts and get those all on there. Okay, so I just pretty much set the tension bolts in there. So there's one that has an M, it's all shiny. It has to go on the left side, so just put that one in there, and then the last one goes in there. Then I'm gonna go around and number them all, like, because there's a certain torque sequence there. You have to, or tightening sequence there. So I'll freaking get those numbered, and then I'll start making a clip again. Yeah, so here's the one tension bolt. You can see there's that little groove in the bottom of the washer. that has to face that little O-ring, so you just push those in tight. This one isn't even really that important right here, but slide her down and give her a couple turns. So now I'm just gonna like pretty much I'll write the tightening sequence on there, and then I'll just bring them all down flat, and then just gradually work the torque sequence there. Alright, so I just went around and numbered them all, so I'm just gonna start bringing it down now. Freaking get working on torquing it all down. Yeah, so that's when one of these ratchets come in handy, because you can just go and freaking... So pretty much I'm just bringing them all snug, and then I'll go back after. Excuse me. Oh, wait a second. That's the monster. Alright, so they're just all snug now, so I can still move my hand pretty much, but now I'm going to just pretty much lap to put it on here. Hey, you don't have to go there, I guess. Yeah, so pretty much working right now. I'll keep doing that and I'll get back to the actual cord. Right, so I just got my brother here helping me hold that, so this should be right out of the torque freaking spot right now. There we go, so they should all be torqued. Freaking, I'm just gonna double check them, but you guys don't need to watch me do that. So, freaking right, so there's the first part done. So now I gotta flip it over, freaking start working on the front stack there and set the end play for the centric shaft there. So freaking, it's not too bad. Yeah, so there we go, guys. Freaking, it's all put together now, all torqued down. So next I'm gonna have to flip it over and get like the end shaft play set. Freaking, but I have to go out to my dad's and pick up the dial indicator and stuff. So I'm gonna do that in the morning because it's getting a little bit late here and I'm hungry as frig. So yeah, anyways, so freaking I'll do that and that'll probably be the end of this video here. So hopefully I got enough footage there for you guys. Freaking anyways, I'll talk to you guys in a bit.